Dude, I'm the biggest idiot ever. I've been commentating, and you haven't been able to hear me. I still had everything muted from the wheel spin. I'm such an idiot. Oh. Oh. So unfortunate. So unfortunate. Mark Lack starting a lap. I was calling everyone a good boy for being on the intermediate set of tires. That's so unfortunate for me. Impulse will be crossing the line 19-2, going P2 with a purple sector 3. So maybe conditions are going to be improving slightly. I just don't know how much rubber is going to be put down with the intermediate set of tires, so I don't know how much they'll improve over time. But here's Mark Lax up the chicane, sliding a lot. That definitely tends to happen, especially with these inner tires on the drive. Or purple sector 2 is Mark Lax as he comes across the next chicane. Very, very nice through it, throwing his car around, trying to get the best time possible, and he is going to be quick on the power. Absolutely pushing, trying to be setting the best ever time. Here's Mark Lax coming across the final little bit, showing his speed, showing his pace. Can he put himself onto pole? It's going to be close. 20.2 going P5 for Mark Lax. Andrew on an outlap. Impulse up on time. Say out outlap. I don't know if anyone else is doing a quick lap, so I think just outlaps. Which is kind of unfortunate, because I like when they go fast. Who else? Who is going to be the first to start their lap? It'll be Sayao. We'll watch a little bit of Sayao's lap, because we like Sayao. Words. I've never talked to Sayao, but I'm sure he's a rather nice guy. But here he is, starting his lap. And I have a call to make really quick, so I do have to mute. And this time it'll be intentional. Alright, I apologize for that 5-minute little delay. I had to take a very important phone call. But I'm back and commentating. So Scorenzi put himself on a pole position with an 18.8, B-Dots P2 with an 18.9, Impulse P3 with a 19.2, KYT Kid P4 with a 19.5, Andrew P5 with a 20.0 flat, a Marklex in P6 with a 20.2, and Panda 20.7 in P7, Sayao with a 20.9 in P8, P9 is taken up by Golden Sniper, the Australian. They won 21.4. Lewis, 21.6 in P10. Blue Mercury put himself in P11 with a 24.7. And Stamso is yet to set a lap. But everyone should be setting their final laps here shortly. KYT Kid has an invalid lap, so he won't be setting one. Golden Sniper will be the next to cross his grid in the Herbatska Racing, if I remember correctly. Impulse retiring for P3, 19.2. Just keep that in mind in case he drops out of the top 3, because then it'll be fully on his fault. Here is Golden Sniper, though. To the line, Golden Sniper will get a 20.7, good enough for a P9. Oh, people are going to be crossing the line. Scorenzi, 18.8. B-Dot starting his lap. Marklex going to be starting a lap. Andrew starting his lap. Blue Mercury down on his time, 8/10 as we join him as he will cross the line with a 23.9, putting himself in P11. I hope all of these people are just now starting their laps, otherwise they just got completely missed. Stamso, not going to be able to qualify because he invalidated his time. This is what you get for doing one run. He deserves that shit, let's be honest. KYT Kid, purple sector 2, through the chicane very nicely, throwing his car around, looking to set a time, maybe trying to get into that top 4, or top 3, sorry, he's in the top 4, in the top 3, dethroning Impulse from that. Oh, but he goes so wide, surprisingly does not invalidate, but it probably will lose him a little bit of time, and he'll be crossing the line with a 19 flat, going P3, so yeah, Impulse is out of the top 3 now. Here is Scorenzi. Scorenzi setting a 18.5, going fastest. B-Doc 18.8, not able to follow it up with a fastest lap of his own. But here's Andrew, the man from Canada. Very proud Canadian supporter. What can he be putting? 19.7. Good enough for a P5. Good job. Sayao. What can Sayao do? Sayao's going to be very quick, 20.5. Lewis, 21.3. And Blue Mercury into the wall and crashing. Yeah, we know you sold Stamp, so I was talking about you, and I said that that's why you don't set just one lap. Here is your qualifying order, though. Scorenzi will start in your pole position. B-Dot in P2. KYT Kid sitting in that P3, Impulse in P4. Andrew finds himself up into P5. Marklex P6 behind Andrew. Sayao in P7. Golden Sniper P8. Panda P9. Lewis in P10. Blue Mercury P11. And Stamso is in P12. Yeah, KYT Kid, you had a purple sector 2. And then you followed it up by going very wide in the last sector. So maybe don't do that next time. That's your qualifying order, so should be a normal race. And we'll have a lot of fun with it. Throw a couple of jokes in here and there. But we will be lining up like I could not do better. I'm great, Golden Sniper. I'm drinking a Monster, so I'm happy. I got little F1 cars today, and so I can't see them. They're over at my desk drawer, not my desk. I'm at my desk. They're over at my dresser, on top of my dresser near my TV. But those are cool, and so I'm happy. We got some stuff for our garage sale around, and so I'm going to be getting money this weekend, which I'm so pumped about. because then I can go and buy more F1 cars. And yeah, I know I can't do better, KNYT kid. But I know you can. Alright, just waiting for the grid to ready up, and we will get this great race underway. Should have a lot of fun with this one. Imola, very tight circuits, very fast. Not a great for overtaking. But we do have some faster people in the back, so we'll have to see how they all end up. Could be anyone's race today. If I had a prediction on my race winner, I'd probably put it to Scarenzi. I feel like Scarenzi would be very fast here. I wonder where Skelly is for her main supporter. Or for his main supporter, I apologize. Big rip for Scarenzi. 0 Scarenzi fans in the chat. Except for me. I'll be a Scarenzi fan today. And a Impulse, and a Bida, and a KNYT kid, and an Andrew, and a Mark, and a Sayo, and a Panda, and a Golden, and a Stampso. I hope I didn't miss anybody. And a Lewis. Did I miss anyone else? Did I say Blue Mercury? I hope I didn't miss anyone else. I'll be an everyone fan today. So if I missed you, I apologize. I'll get you eventually. Don't you worry. Still just waiting for the grid to line up. Fun fact about me. My first ever time commentating an IRL was Tier 2 Imola. I had a lot of fun with it. I had Mark, not Mark Lex, Engineer Mark as my commentator. And we had great fun. And we were invited back, or I was invited back for every following race after that. So I apparently did good enough to earn myself a full all-time commentator role in IRL. And hopefully I can take those skills into the real world. Because fun fact about me, I would love to go to school to be a sports commentator. That would be my dream job. I'd rather stick with motorsports, just because I feel like motorsports are a little easier to commentate than normal sports, but if I'm forced to do normal sports, as long as the pay is good, obviously. That's my little toasty waffle. I don't really get to do those anymore because now I'm all focused on commentary. Alright, but here is the grid for the Imola Grand Prix. We have 5 red lights, and away we go! For the Italian Grand Prix, Scarenzi, great jump off the line. KNYT kid flying closely in P2. P-Dot losing his position, kind of swerving all over the place, trying to do pack. But Andrew gets himself into that P3. Oh, 2 people have to cut the chicane. Stampso is backwards. Same with Sayo and Blue Mercury. That's a little scary. Scarenzi still leads the way, though. KNYT kid holding close in that P2 spot. Andrew slowly slipping away. And P3, Impulse in P4. Marklax P5, Lewis in P6, Golden Sniper P7, B-Dot had to cut the chicane in P8, Red Panda P9, Sayo P10, Stampso P11, and Blue Mercury in P12. So crazy start. But yeah, oh, here is Mark Lex trying to do something on Impulse, but just wasn't able to make the move, so he's going to have to file back into position. Kind of going to slow him down, though, and you can kind of see that time hovering around that 8:10, so we'll have to see if that can go up. DRS won't be enabled until next lap, so Scarenzi will continue to show his pace, lead the race. KNYT kid holding close, though, so don't rule him out of the picture. Stampso and Sayo crossing over the chicane very nicely. They go. And if you're going to do an overtake, you're going to burn all your battery right now to try to do it. KNYT kid getting a 10-second penalty for spinning in the pit lane. is KNYT Kid dumb? Oh my god. Oh my god, KNYT Kid! Oh my god, wait! 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 Hold on. KNYT Kid went into the pits for enters. KNYT Kid went into the pits for enters.
Yes, could be pranked.
They were so
Dude,
have a look at chat.
Oh my god.
I told him.
Restart out of.
Okay, well, RP KNYT Kid. He apparently does not know how to take a joke. So Skurenzi will lead this race very far in the lead now. Andrew, 3.5 seconds behind Skurenzi, holding up Impulse a little bit. You can see Impulse maybe getting a little bit of agitated behind him. You can see a little bit of that dirty air kicking in the chicane, and I'm sure it'll continue here. Oh, big hit! Oh my gosh! I don't know what Impulse is doing there, but that's not what you want to do. Safety car is out. For that incident, obviously Mark apparently taking out Lewis. Oh! Oh! Playing battle bots. I'm just kidding. We're restarting the lobby because again, like you did. Oh, there's a red flag. Jesus Christ. Oh. You know what I kind of want to do in the meantime? I hope nothing inappropriate is on my search engine. Let's go to Amazon. I want to look at some F1 little cars, guys. F1 diecast. Let's look at some F1 diecast cars while we wait. I'm so glad that I'm not signed in and that you can't see my name. I think that's so fun. I think this one would be kind of fun, the Lewis Hamilton one. This is one that I actually bought today. I'm so glad that I bought this one. I love. That's one of my favorite ones. This would be kind of neat, but I don't really like that livery. This one would be really fun. Max. Is he upset? Is that what's going on here? Hold on. Charles Leclerc upset at his Ferrari? Question mark. My car is very similar to that one, the Ferrari one I bought today. This would be such a pretty one to buy. Alfa Romeo. I'm definitely going to buy an Alfa Romeo one eventually. I love Alfa Romeo. The silver. The actual silver arrows. This would be kind of fun. I don't like Lando Norris, though. The Aston car. I wouldn't be upset at an Aston car. Oh, is this from when he went, like, crazy? Oh, wait, this is Brazil, so yeah. Get off Amazon. I don't want to get off of Amazon, souls. They're restarting the lobby, and so I'm just setting my time how I want, souls. But welcome to the stream. Golden Striper, the lone car on the grid on the restart. Glad that we were able to actually catch that. Cutting the chicane, and Dead does not go Golden Sniper. What the fuck are these settings? There we go. Back to Amazon. Alpine. I really want an Alpine one. This one would be kind of fun, actually. The chrome livery for Silverstone. Alpine. Stop the count. What? What? This would be beautiful. Alfa Romeo. I really want an Alfa Romeo. Huh. This is a beautiful one. Danny Rick in the McLaren for Abu Dhabi. This is not just beautiful. This is not just a beautiful car. This is what? What? Hold on. I know what I'm wasting my money on. What? That's good. What the fuck are they pumping?
Alright, keep going. McLaren in first place.
Oh damn!
We don't know.
Oh!
We don't know. McLaren is in second place now. McLaren is right in the first place.
He's trying to commentate. He fucking sucks at commentating, bro. I don't know who these random kids are. I don't know if I'm allowed to show them, but like this? I kind of want this just for the Hot Wheel cars. That'd be kind of fun. Alright. Back to F1, unfortunately. Uh-oh. Alright, guys. Can we ready up? Can we ready up, guys? That'd be great. Oh my god, holy fuck. Dude, let me apply for this job. Holy shite. Oh, I have to be 18? Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. So, yeah, I fucking early as 5 a.m. Oh my god. Hell no, bro. Oh, it's for a store, but I'd get $17.50 an hour. Sorry, I'm looking for jobs. I fucking need a job so bad. Work at a Subway. That sounds terrible. God, I cannot imagine. I don't want to work in an old person place. Can we fucking start? Oh my god, bro. I'm trying to commentate. Not fucking have time to fucking scroll on Indeed looking for a job. All right, we're getting ready to. What if last minute I switched and just drove instead? I won't. That'd be kind of funny. Why does that job have to be full-time, bro? Why can't there be more part-time jobs out there? Why can't there be more part-time jobs that are like exactly the hours that I need? That's what I really want. Alright, getting into the lobby now. We still have a bit before they ready up, because that's just how this goes. Jesus fuck, bro. Jesus fuck. Yeah, thank you, Kid. My team good. Dude, can I just fucking drive? Let me just drive. At this point. Alright, where is my invite? Where is my invite? There is my invite from the Andrew. Screw it, dude. I'm just gonna ready up. No, I'm just kidding. Oh my gosh. Dude, Panda just asked if I planned on commentating. Is Panda dumb, bro? Is Panda dumb? No, Panda. I'm fucking sitting in this lobby on spectator mode, streaming for no fucking reason. Fucking dumbass Panda. Bro, KNYT kid, this is all your fault, bro. You fucking fell for the break, and then we had to restart, and then the lobby is fucked because of you. And now it's even more fucked, all because of you. So, All your fault. All your fault. Well, guess what? Chicken butt! Dude, KNYT Kid is gonna make me end stream, and there won't be a commentator. I'll commentate. There just won't be a stream. And it'll just be to myself. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. Commentate in the game. Hell no, bro. Hell no. KNYT Kid, I feel like I would bully you in real life. Like, if you went to my school, I feel like I would, like, bully the shit out of you. I'd make your life a living nightmare. Here I am. Good. Deserved. I'm just kidding. I'm just messing around, KNYT Kid. Oh, there's my favorite. Alright, can we fucking ready up, though, bro? Alright, there we go. Now we're readying up. Just took us a million years. What if I hit stop spectating with 1 second left? Oh! 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 That is me, actually. Fun fact. Because there's no hostile players around me. All right. For the third time, we'll be in the lobby waiting for the grid. All KNYT Kid's fault. So, blame him. Put all your frustrations all on KNYT Kid. Hmm? Come on, guys. I feel like we don't need to wait 2 minutes. I feel like people already figured out their strategy last time. But it's whatever. I'm not Andrew. If I was Andrew, I'd be kind of upset. Alright, 5 red lights. And for the Imola GP, we get underway. Scarenzi leads the race. in that P1 spot. B-Dot in P2. KNYT trying to get past, but not going to really be able to. B-Dot sliding himself behind Scarenzi. Andrew up into P4, battling with Impulse. They're going to... Oh, some people are going to have to cut that chicane. Surprised there's no time penalties. Scarenzi in P1, B-Dot P2, KNYT in P3. Andrew in P4, Marklax in P5, Impulse P6, Panda P7, Stamso P8, Golden Sniper in P8, Stamso P8, Blue Mercury P9, Panda in P10, Sayao P11, and Lewis all the way in the back there at P12. Scarenzi still leading the way, showing his pace, staying very strong, showing why he is a very good driver. Throughout all of this IRL's history. So he'll be holding that P1 spot. B-Dot struggling to try to keep up right now. He's going to be just out of that DRS range. So he's going to be harder to catch, especially as we go on to the race. It's going to be very similar to what we saw Max Verstappen do in real life Imola, where it's just too big of a lead, and you can't really catch up when you are out of that DRS range. KNYT Kid is in P3, also kind of in that same boat, slowly dropping away from B-Dot. I wonder if B-Dot has lower wings than KNYT Kid. Because all of that seems to have come from that straight. Andrew, also right here, waiting and coming. Here's KNYT Kid, ghosted. So, Andrew, easy pass. Mark Lex in P5, looking at the back of KNYT Kid. I don't know if I have you invited, KNYT Kid. You might have to add me. You have to add me really quick, because I don't have you. It's Toasty Oven Bread. Toasty Oven Bread, like, how you would think. Dude, I don't have you added, KNYT Kid. You have to add me. It's Toasty Oven Bread. I genuinely, you're not on my friends list. Mark likes in that P5 spot. Golden in P6, KNYT Kid in P7, still waiting. It's Toasty Oven Bread. Toasty Oven Bread. TOASTYOVENBREAD. AD. Sorry. Scarenzi in that P1 still. You can see B-Dot struggling to stay with him. Andrew also in that boat. 4 seconds back from B-Dot. Impulse, Mark also right behind Andrew. Here is Impulse making that move up into that P3 spot. So he's going to be looking very strong, very fast. Here's Mark also trying to get past. Not really able to do anything, though. Which is so unfortunate for Mark, because you know that he really wanted to get that move done there so he could start looking for Impulse. Maybe find himself on that podium spot very soon. Mark Lax in that P5 spot. Golden Sniper in P6, kind of in that no man's lane, but Panda is trying to stay with and trying to get within that DRS. REP KNYT Kid. Stamso in P8. And this green Kick Sauber-esque car, kind of the NVIDIA car, if I had to put a brand to it. It's going a little wide through the chicane exit, but I'm sure that's fine. These trees, not the greatest view. REP KNYT Kid. You might be able to keep up with Lewis. That Stamso in that P8 spot. Blue Mercury in his car in P9, doing a little bit wide on that exit. So yeah, tried to get within that DRS range of Blue Mercury. I think he's going to have it, so it's going to be an interesting pass. But I want to cut to this pack of people. Andrew, not going to have the DRS, so here's Mark Lex with the DRS. Maybe going to be burning a bit, trying to pass Andrew. Andrew goes to the left. Opens up the space, lets Mark Lex by. Is he going to let Golden Sniper by, though? Golden Sniper doesn't even have enough space, or enough pace, sorry, to make anything happen. Sayo getting past Blue Mercury, so Blue Mercury down into P10. Here's Lewis, though. Lewis trying to catch up, trying to see what he can do in this race, see if he can't find himself maybe in a higher position than this P11, but he is within that DRS range now, so it's going to be a better opportunity for him. So unfortunate for KNYT Kid, who is just not able to get into the game. Blue Mercury letting Lewis by, which is so interesting. Especially at a section where maybe it's not the greatest place. If you were to let him by, it would be definitely in Sector 3, towards the beginning of it, to maybe get that DRS, allow him to re-overtake, to put himself back into a better position. But you can see Blue Mercury just losing so much time. I mean, that time went from so close to a second now, so it's going to be difficult for him. But Andrew, once again, going to be just in that, he's going to be just in that DRS range. But you can see that Andrew's just struggling for pace, and yeah, he's going to come into the pits off of the soft tires, so he's definitely going to be doing the two-stoppers. So it's so unfortunate for Andrew, who I thought was going to have some really good pace. He was showing some at the beginning, and now he just doesn't. Stamso! Oh, I mean, to go off into the grass to try to get around Golden Sniper. Golden Sniper going to give that position. And here's Red Panda to capitalize on all of it. Through goes Red Panda, getting so many positions. KNYT Kid getting back in the game, so he's going to be on the mediums. But Andrew is going to be behind him quite a ways, but that's KNYT Kid. Going to be in a little bit of a difficult situation. So Scarenzi still leads. B-Dot is 2.6 seconds back, so you can see Scarenzi, with his pace, he has so much speed, so much pace. It's going to be hard to catch him for B-Dot. It's going to be hard to see if you can do anything. See if you can't beat that time. The only way that B-Dot's going to be able to win this race now is if Scarenzi has a big mistake or if there's a safety car, which is so unfortunate circumstances for B-Dot, who had really good pace in qualifying, was able to qualify P2, and now he just can't put himself into a better position than P2. Impulse in this P3 spot, kind of in that same boat. He was able to qualify pretty high up there, but now in the race, he just doesn't have the pace that he was showing. Barclax in that P4 spot, you can see that he kind of wants to push, trying to get up to Impulse, but it's going to be difficult for him. Once again, it's just one of those circumstances where you just can't do a whole lot on this track. Red Panda getting passed by Stamso as we join the onboard camera for that. So Stamso will now be in that P5 spot from the back of the grid. So Stamso on a charge. Seiya getting past Golden Sniper. Golden Sniper dropping down to P9. Losing positions to Lewis and Seiya. He must have just lost out. Oh, big hit on the back of Seiya there. Golden Sniper. As he crossed the chicane, just sliding in behind Seiya. Going to be doing his best to try to pick up the pieces. Just not able to have the race that he may want. KNYT Kid in P11 slowly catching up to these guys who are going to be actively battling. You can see Blue Mercury fighting, struggling for grip of his car. Red Panda going by in that P9 spot. Looking very nice for him. Blue Mercury holding on. You can see him still trying to fight that car. He's on controller. Going to be a little bit rough. You can see him slowly just trying to fight against the car. Kind of giving like opposite directions to what he wants. And it's just going to be harder for him to do anything. Golden Sniper getting past Seiya in the chicane. Wonder if Seiya allowed that so that he could get the DRS here. Golden Sniper turning off his battery. You can see that flashing red light as they head into Sector 3. So yeah, Seiya is going to have that battery advantage. He's going to have that DRS advantage. So we're going to have to see how Golden Sniper can defend if there is going to be a defense. It's just going to be really hard, especially without that DRS, without that ERS. But here is Seiya trying to catch up to Golden Sniper. Just doesn't quite have enough speed, though. Seiya going to be trying to go around that right side, not able to make any work done. Unfortunate for him, and Golden Sniper really benefited from that because he's going to get a lot of the ERS back that he was burning, trying to stay ahead. Golden Sniper, as we know, is one that's really hard to stay with that ERS management. And so we're going to see that blinking light on quite a bit. KNYT Kid had gotten by Blue Mercury and now puts himself in P10, getting past Red Panda. Side by side, these two go, but I think KNYT Kid going to have just enough speed to get by. Yeah, so KNYT Kid finds himself into P9 on the charge for P8 for Seiya. We're going to have to see how quick he can push. These mediums tires are going to go quite a bit if you're doing the one stop. So he's going to have the time to push. The tires must be very fresh, because the AI, really good at tire saving, really good at fuel saving, so KNYT Kid gonna have a lot of pace to push here. And you can see he's already put himself in that DRS zone, so we're gonna see him absolutely push. He's gonna be able to charge, he's gonna maybe be able to find Seiya, maybe be able to find even Golden Sniper, if he can push quite a bit. That dirty air is gonna affect him a little bit here. You can see the car struggling against his inputs, trying to go one way while he's going the other. KNYT Kid just doesn't quite have the speed. I wonder if he is burning or if he's maybe saving a little bit of battery. He's saving. You can see that light on, so he just doesn't try anything. Seiya getting past Golden Sniper. but Golden Sniper going to have a lot of that overspeed trying to get past Seiyao once again. It's just nothing is going to come of it. But never mind. Maybe I'm eating my words. Because here's Golden Sniper around friggin' Seiyao for that P7 position. KNYT Kid is here going also around Seiyao. Seiyao losing 2 positions in Sector 2. So unfortunate for Seiyao, who was showing such great pace. KNYT Kid getting forced out into the grass, so now he's going to be behind Golden Sniper in this P8 spot, looking for this P7. I wonder if he's going to try to make a move before the chicane, or maybe he's just going to wait and maybe try to use that DRS to help just propel him. But Golden Sniper lagging a little bit. I thought he was going to hit, but just no hit there, luckily. So KNYT Kid through the chicane, you can see that dirty air. Just not going to be KNYT Kid's friend, especially when he's trying to get by, trying to continue this race so he can start looking for Lewis, who's 5 seconds ahead. But here's KNYT Kid, going to be only a 10th away. He's going to be all over the back of Golden Sniper. He's going to be wanting to make this move, wanting to do something so that he can get by, continue his race, get back up. Golden Sniper dips into the pits on lap 9. He's probably going to be going the 2-stopper. KNYT Kid going to be absolutely able to push here. Seiyao going into the garage to try to overtake KNYT Kid, and somehow it's going to work. Around the outside, KNYT Kid forced to cut the chicane. No penalty given out. Probably just a penalty. Or a warning, sorry. KNYT Kid still fighting with Seiyao, losing that position into this chicane. So KNYT Kid's going to be P8. Seiyao is P7. But here, around the outside is KNYT Kid fighting for that P7. And he gets the position, cuts to the left. Going to be following the line now. Going to be trying to push away from Seiyao. Holy crap, battles. Great fight. Andrew up into P9. Remember, he put off of his softs pretty early in. Now onto the medium set of tires. So he's going to be on the hards for the last, unless he's going soft, medium, which I could see happening. All just depends on the tire wear here. Trying to see what Scorenzi does and when he comes into the pits, because you know that Scorenzi's going to be sweating. He's going to be doing the one-stop strategy. He's probably going to go from these mediums that he's on right now to the hards. I wouldn't be surprised if B-Dot follows the same strategy and Impulse. Stamso I could also see doing the same strategy. Lewis up into P5 as Mark Lex pits onto lap 10. I don't know when the one-stop pit strategy is, but I could see Lewis also trying to follow on the hard tires, going from hard to medium instead of the medium to hard. KNYT Kid 6 seconds back from Lewis, but slowly gaining, slowly finding that pace, slowly pushing to catch up. Andrew on the hard tires, or on the medium tires, sorry, in P7, trying to push, trying to find KNYT Kid, also trying to create this gap from Blue Mercury, because you don't want Blue Mercury catching up and then battling with you, because that's just going to slow you down for the rest of the race. Mark Lax in this P9 on to the medium set of tires, so he's going to have to pit again. Red Panda in P11. And he is running on to the also medium set of tires, and Seiyao on the medium set of tires. Blue Mercury also on the medium. So Andrew is the net race, like after everyone pit. So he's gonna be the leader of the people who have pit. That's probably what I wanted to say. But I wouldn't be surprised if something else happens to move him out of that position. Stamso trying to get past Impulse, getting forced out into the grass to avoid the actions. Impulse cutting the chicane, giving up the position to Stamso. Impulse way into the gravel. He's going to lose so much time. He's going to have a lot of that wheel spin trying to catch up. Stamso from the back of the grid, finding himself in P3. Holy crap. Lewis in 8th. And in 5th place, 8/10 back. He caught quite a bit up to Impulse because of his big mistake by going into the grass. But I don't think Lewis is really going to be able to capitalize on it. Just 8 seconds back is really hard to make up. Especially on these hards where you're just going to have to pit in a couple of laps. And sure, you'll get him when Impulse comes into the pits, but that overcut will never be better than the undercut. And sure, they are on the different tire offsets, but I don't know if Lewis can find the 8 seconds to Impulse to make something happen. KNYT Kid in P6, slowly catching up to Lewis. You can see him absolutely pushing, wanting to make up all the positions. Mark Lax sitting past Blue Mercury. Blue Mercury gonna be holding on to Mark Lax, trying to push with him. You can see that Blue Mercury really wants this DRS. Maybe going to be burning a little bit into the chicane. Going to be cutting that chicane. Surprisingly, there's no penalty given out. But he's going to just lose out to that DRS, which is so unfortunate for Blue Mercury. Impulse into the pits for the hard set of tires. I don't know if 20-lap-old hards can make it in Imola, but we'll have to see how all of that plays out. So maybe Lewis will find himself in a P4 spot because of that. We'll just have to see how all of this plays out in the future. Blue Mercury also coming into the pits off of the 12-lap-old mediums, but it's Scorenzi who I really want to see what his strategy is, because he'll really be the telltale. You can see his tires. You can tell that they're worn. You can tell that they're maybe losing pace that he once had. So Blue Mercury, after he pits, is going to find himself down into P12. Current order is Scorenzi in P1, B-Dot in P2, Stamso P3, Lewis in P4, KMIT in P5, Andrew P6, Mark Lex P7, Impulse P8, Golden Sniper in P9, Red Panda P10, Seiya P11, and Blue Mercury in P12. Let's look at the pit stops. So yeah, so everyone in the bottom 6 or so, 7, sorry, in the bottom 7, have done their first pit stop. Oh, as we join Blue Mercury, driving into the grass on these cold tires. Impulse trying to catch up to Mark slowly. He's going to have the DRS, so that's just going to be a big gain and advantage for Impulse. Trying to push, trying to maybe catch back up to Stamso. He was staying out a little longer, so KMIT Kid, Lewis, Stamso, B-Dot, and Scorenzi all going to be waiting to come into the pits. But we're just going to have to see how all of that plays out in a second. Let's put her on the tires, though. So Lewis is going to be the longest one out here. I don't know exactly what his strategy is going to be like. But if he can just keep these alive for a while longer, I think he'll be in good set standing. Impulse trying to get past Mark Lex. Here is the move for this P7. He's going to try to stick it, and he's going to get the move done. He's going to be really happy about that, but Mark Lex isn't done fighting. Mark Lex going to keep fighting around the outside of Impulse. Still sticking it, still there. Impulse and Mark Lex side by side as we head up through Sector 2. Are they going to be able to still stick with each other? Impulse having to back out. Going off a little wide. I wouldn't be surprised if you get a warning from that. That sturdy air just not going to be helping. Not going to be in Impulse's favor. Mark Lex cutting off to the right, letting Impulse by. Maybe Mark Lex playing a little bit of that DRS chicken, letting Impulse go first so that Mark Lex can have the DRS, going to be having the easier time to pass him on these straight. You can see Impulse turning off his battery, turning it back on as we look at his back, at his little behind. Stamso into the pits. KYT Kid into the pits with a 10-second penalty for speeding. So I think now is the time to pit. Yeah, Scorenzi also into the pit. So Lewis is going to have a little bit more time out to maybe see what he can do, see if he can't push a little harder. Andrew on the 9-lap-old mediums. Definitely going to be going soft mediums if I had to guess. Here is Impulse, though. Impulse got past Mark Lex on the chicane, like we saw. Just Mark Lex wasn't able to keep up, wasn't able to do anything. Stamso is in front of Impulse, so Impulse was able to do a good job of this undercut, was able to find a lot of pace to Stamso, going to be able to get within this DRS range, but Stamso looking at the back of Andrew on the 9-lap-old mediums compared to Stamso's very fresh hards. The hards have definitely kicked in, definitely warmed up, so we're going to see this move probably happen very soon, but you can tell that Stamso's going to want the DRS, so he's going to let Andrew stay ahead for just a little bit longer until Stamso can cross that DRS detection zone, until he can guarantee that he has the DRS. That way he can start to push a little more. And yeah, here's Andrew coming to the right, maybe opening up the door for Stamso. Stamso's going to take that opportunity, going to get past Andrew. Here's Impulse, though, also trying to get past Andrew, maybe squeezing Andrew out a little bit. Andrew is going to find himself in P6 without the DRS. Stamso's going to be able to push a lot, trying to separate himself from Impulse. Impulse going to want this position back. Stamso got it back early in the race, and then Impulse made a massive mistake, which lost him 4 seconds. And now Impulse has been able to find all that time back, trying to try to stake with him. Mark Lex going to be slowed down a little bit by Andrew on the 10-lap-old mediums, but Mark Lex on the 5-lap-old mediums. So I think Mark Lex might have to pit again, just because I don't reckon that these guys are going to go the full way. But I do wonder if he's going to go try to push and go onto the soft side of tires at the very end. Maybe just a little bit of opposite of what we saw Andrew doing. I think Andrew's going the soft, medium, medium. And I think Marklax might be going the medium, medium, soft. But I do want to see how all of that strategy plays out. But we still have a couple more laps until we see anything happen. If Andrew's going to pit, it's going to be in the next 2 laps. At some point. Oh, big speed, overspeed for Marklax. I thought he might have hit into the back of Andrew. A fastest lap for Scarenzi. Very nice for Scarenzi, setting a fastest lap on these fresh hards B-Dot, not able to catch up any bit to Scarenzi in that P2 spot. Just a little bit update on your time and your positions. Scarenzi is in P1. We just saw Marklax overtake Andrew. So Scarenzi in P1, B-Dot sits in that P2 spot. Lewis sits in P3. Has not hit yet, though. Keep that in mind. Stamso in P4, Impulse in P5, Mark in P6, Andrew in P7, Golden in P8, KNYT Kid in P9 with that 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pit. Seiyao in P10, Red Panda P11, and Blue Mercury sits in P12. Not a lot of action still left to happen. A lot of that happens in the last little bit and in the first little bit. So Andrew gonna be pushing, gonna be trying to stay within the DRS of Marklax. Gonna be really wanting that, because with that DRS, you're gonna be able to push. You're gonna be able to save maybe a little bit of battery, which I can see that Andrew does not really have. So that's going to be really beneficial if he can get this DRS, but he's gonna really have to push. Just make sure that you can stay within that second range, and you're going to lose a lot of time through the chicane. Going to be able to find it out back in the exit, though. Still going to lose a little bit of time. Red Panda, unfortunately, did retire. I think he did mention that he has a league race after this. And so I reckon that he's just going to be quitting so that he can focus on that instead. Stamso getting past Lewis. Lewis has not pit yet, so now Lewis sits in P4. Going to be slowing up Impulse a little bit. Damage is off. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Lewis in that P4 with the 16 lap old hard. Going to be struggling for pace now. His corner cutting is regular. I thought corner cutting was regular. I saw people going wide, and I was like, if you do that, you're going to get a penalty, and they never did. Impulse all over the back of Lewis. He's going to have the, he's going to want the DRS here, Impulse, but he also wants to get by Lewis, who's in front of him, because Impulse going to have the sturdy air, going to have to be slowed up a little bit by Lewis, who's going to be struggling for grip, struggling for pace. He's going to wait until the DRS detection zone, though. Going to wait to make that move. That way he has the DRS so he can start the charge on Stamso. But I think he waited too long. I think just getting past Lewis early on would have been more beneficial than trying to get this DRS, because now that gap is 5 seconds, and this DRS just isn't going to be worth the 5 seconds. I think getting past Lewis would have been the better call. That's just so unfortunate. Andrew with a 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Going to be going off of the 13-lap old mediums. Going to see what he pits. He would not be surprised if these are mediums, but no, they're hards. So Andrew going to be on the hard set of tires following the next couple of laps until the end of the race. Lewis yet to pit yet. Should be pitting soon, though. You can see so much tire wear on his tires, struggling for grip, struggling for pace, trying to stay within this DRS of Impulse, just not going to be able to do it, though. So he's going to be out of this DRS, would not be surprised if he pits in 2 laps, though, because then that would be 12-lap old mediums, and I think that's just about what everyone else is doing. But Lewis is going to need to absolutely push, because he's losing so much time. Even someone like Marklax, who is on the 2-stopper, he is just going to lose so much time to Mark, because these tires are just going to be so dead. They're going to be struggling for this pace. They're going to be struggling to push, and he's just not going to have a lot of pace that he was showing in the first couple of 10 laps or so. Yeah, but here's Lewis coming into the pit lane for his next set of tires. So like I said, yeah, those tires must have just been really bad. Here's Marklax getting into that P5 KNYT Kid with his time penalty. Also going to be getting by Lewis while he is in the pit lane. And I bet even Golden Sniper will getting by Lewis, but I don't know if Golden Sniper can go to the end. He's going to have to make these hard laps for another 10 or so laps, even longer. So it's going to be really hard for Golden Sniper to do that. I mean, we saw the 17 lap old hards on Lewis struggling for pace. So stay out into the pits. Andrew on the old, on the new set of hards, sorry, he's going to have a lot of pace right now. He's going to be willing to push. Try to catch up into Lewis. Try to get by Lewis. Maybe start a little bit of a gap. With that time penalty, it's just going to be rough for him to hold on to any of the positions that he could have had here. So it's just going to be really rough for Andrew. So unfortunate for him. The field has definitely separated out a little more. I mean, Scarenzi is approaching, I think that is Red Panda's lapped, or almost lapped car. You can see, yeah. No, that was Blue Mercury. Oh. Blue Mercury struggling for pace as he rounds that corner. See him fighting that car. We've been seeing him fighting that car a lot recently. Mark into the pits now. Golden Sniper's 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So many people getting 10 seconds. It is so crucial to practice your pits, especially in a track like Imola where you don't really have a lot of time to break. So just unfortunate for all the people, but that's gonna balance out eventually if enough people have it. So Mark Lack's on the fresh hard, gonna be going until the end of the race. The 12 lap old hards what he will have at the 10. Gonna be very, very nice. Gonna be very fast. Gonna be able to push for a while, but not gonna be able to push enough, I don't think, to maybe catch up to Andrew. But I think he will be able to stay within 10 seconds of Andrew to get his position. There is a car that went off track. I think that was Golden Sniper. In fact, was Golden Sniper. Maybe just having a little bit of a goof off. But holding that P9 very nicely for Golden Sniper. Scarenzi sitting in P1 still, Beta in P2, showing so much pace, showing so much consistency, just not able to stay with Scarenzi at all after losing the DRS in the first lap. Steamso sitting in P3, and Impulse in P4. All of these guys have about similar gaps to each other, all in that 7-second range, give or take. Beta is 7 seconds, almost at the dot. Stamso is 7.8, and Impulse is 7.2-ish. Kind of fluctuating around that area for all of them. KNYT gets its P5 with his penalty. As it stands, he will not be losing any positions, but he'll need to push a little bit harder because Lewis is on the softer compound, on a little bit of a fresher compound. So Lewis is going to have a little bit more pace for longer, especially with there being only 10 or so more laps. So KNYT is going to have to push, going to have to show a lot of that pace that he was showing at the beginning of this race. Andrew sitting in P7, not really able to lose any time to Mark. Mark has found so much, so Mark is going to be looking on the hunt for this P7 spot, getting past Andrew. Not going to have the DRS yet, but I do reckon that he will have it next lap. And I don't know if that's just Mark's pure pace or if the 2-lap difference tires really do make this much of a difference. Mark Lex did qualify worse than Andrew, so maybe Andrew's just better on the intermediate quality. Well, Mark isn't, and Mark better in the race, in his race pace. You can see him absolutely catching up to Andrew though. So Andrew gonna be really struggling now. You can definitely see that he's going to feel a little bit distraught. He's going to maybe feel like he should have had a lot more pace, and he just really hasn't been able to, which is so unfortunate, because Andrew currently leading the championship. It's going to be really hard for him to catch up, to do anything especially with this time penalty that he has, and Mark going to be able to get past him with the DRS in a lap, or at the end of this lap, as they're slowly approaching Lewis. Lewis on the 3-lap old mediums, but Lewis still holding that pace. You can see that gap between him and Andrew, still about 4.2 seconds. So Mark is going to want to get by, maybe start the hunt for Lewis, but I don't know if there's going to be enough laps. If he does, it's going to be about 1 and a couple of tenths per lap. And here is that move for this P7. Mark getting by very cleanly, very nicely. Andrew going to be so distraught. Definitely going to be trying to keep with Mark, going to be trying to push, but he is just all over the place. As it stands, P8 is going to be the best that you can get, but he's just going to be pushing, trying to get to the end at this point, trying to stay consistent, trying to not ruin his race more than he already has. Mark has got so much time to Lewis, even after just half a lap, after getting by Andrew. So maybe Andrew just really struggling on these hards. You can see that gap. I mean, he got out of that DRS range so fast within a lap. So then you can see Mark Likes just absolutely pushing on these on the new hards. You can even see him getting ever closer to Lewis. Lewis on the 4-lap old medium, so you would reckon that Lewis would have more pace. You would reckon that these mediums are going to be so much better than the Mark Likes' hards, but they're really not. Mark is having so much more pace. You can see him ever gaining to Lewis. KNYT Kid comes into the pits, serving his penalty. Going to be on to the medium set of tires, so KNYT Kid going to need to push. If he wants to get back into that top 5 where he was running, he is going to need to push. I don't know if he has enough laps to do it. I think that pitting is the wrong choice here. Because he's really going to need to push, and he's going to have a Golden Sniper to deal with as well. He's going to have to get by Golden Sniper, and then even after that, he's going to have to catch up so much to everyone else, and everyone else on the fresh tires. Well, almost fresh, just like a couple laps old tires. So this push, I don't know if KNYT Kid is going to have enough laps to make this happen. KNYT Kid on the inside of Golden Sniper. A little bit of contact made, but I think it's all fine. I think it was just a racing incident, kind of a rougher place to try to send it. Golden Sniper saving the DRS, or the ERS, sorry. Well, he sits in front of KNYT Kid, maybe slowing up KNYT Kid just a little bit, trying to give him all that dirty air, trying to maybe put him off track, lose a lot of time. KNYT Kid thinking about going for it here, and I think he will. I think these two, side by side through the chicane. KNYT Kid going to be forcing Golden Sniper off track. Golden Sniper is going to have the DRS here. And here's Mark Lax getting by Lewis. So Mark Lax finds himself into P5 after getting by Lewis. Lewis on these mediums struggling, trying to keep with him, maybe trying to get his position back, but it's going to be really hard. Mark Lax has a lot of pace, but I don't think he has enough pace to catch up to Impulse. So unfortunate. So I think P5 is going to be the best that Mark can really achieve here. Golden Sniper on the back of KNYT Kid with this DRS. Gonna get, big spin as Golden Sniper tried to clear KNYT Kid, but maybe just misjudged it. So Golden Sniper gonna be in P9, a second back. So he's not gonna have the DRS. He's gonna struggle for pace. He's gonna struggle to separate from Seiyao with his time penalty. Remember, Golden Sniper does have that 10-second. So Seiyao right now is gonna have his P9 once that penalty is taken. So unfortunate for Golden Sniper, who thought that he could hold on, thought that he could maybe stick with KNYT Kid, maybe stop him from getting any more positions further, but Golden Sniper not able to do anything, especially after that big spin. His tires, I'm sure his tires took a nice beating from all of that. Gonna be rough though. It's gonna be really hard for him to try to stay with him and maybe try to push. Impulse hitting to the new set of softs. So interesting to see his thought process on that. Sure, you can go for fastest lap, but why go for fastest lap if you can know, if you know that you can find yourself into a podium spot? Although he was losing a lot of pace, so maybe he just didn't think that he could hold on to that podium spot at all. Stamford was having a lot of speed, showing a lot of pace, especially after starting in the back. So maybe Impulse just thought it was a lost cause. Maybe, hey, I'll just try to go for the extra fastest lap point. Maybe find a couple of positions here and there because I do have a lot of pace. He can find himself back into that P4 spot for sure. It's just a question of, can he do it soon? Or will it hold him up too much? But I want to watch Lewis. Lewis on the back of Mark. Lewis on the 7-lap older medium, so it should be a lot better than Mark's tires. But they really haven't been. We saw Mark having a lot of speed, able to hunt him down, able to get past him. First thing, guys, I'm apologizing for hitting that button a bunch. Wheel is kind of glitching out so late on the brakes for Lewis. Gonna have a little bit of an exit. Worse exit than Mark can even see. He gained a little bit more time, so maybe that was just a better line that he took. But he's gonna try to be getting past Mark. He wants this position. Lewis wants to get into the top 4, because I think that would be a really nice place for Lewis. But he's gonna have to push, and he's gonna have to do it soon because he has Impulse. Impulse on these softs behind him, gonna be pushing, gonna be getting in that DRS zone now. So on that detection, he's going to have the DRS. He's going to be trying to get by Lewis, going to be trying to get by Mark. It's going to throw a big wrench into these things, but we're going to have to see how all of that plays out. In just a couple of seconds now, Impulse on the soft set of tires, going a little bit wide. You can see him dipping his tire into the gravel. Going to slow him down a little bit as he tries to bust all of that off. I believe Mercury gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, but here's Impulse looking at the back of Lewis, going to be absolutely pushing. He's going to be burning a lot of that battery. Going to be trying to go for the fastest lap, trying to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So there is the overtake for the 5th position, getting by Lewis. So Impulse finds himself now into P5. Going to be trying to push, going to be trying to show his speed, trying to get by Mark. But he's going to have a little bit of time to try to do that because these laps take a little bit of time around here in Imola, about a 1:12 per lap depending on your tire, but Impulse is going to have a lot of speed compared to Mark. Big snap for Impulse there, going to be on the back of Mark. I wonder if he's going to try to overtake here, or maybe if he's going to try to wait and save until the DRS. There he goes off of track again. He's really struggling with this dirty air on the soft tires. You can see he has so much speed compared to everyone else around him. But that is just going to ruin him. I mean, that overspeed, that dirty air, it's going to get to him. He can brake way later than everyone else around him. But he can't use that to his advantage because everyone else is on the older, harder compound. So they're going to have to brake earlier and earlier compared to Impulse. So Impulse going to struggle to get by, especially at a track like this, where overtaking opportunities are so minimal. Impulse not going to have DRS here now. He's going to be burning. He does not get fastest lap right now. So that was kind of threw his plan out of the window, that dirty air, affecting him so bad. Wanting to get by Mark. If I'm Impulse, I think I would just try to go for the position rather than the fastest lap. I know that was the whole reason that Impulse pit to the soft set of tires. But because of Mark's dirty air, because of that late braking, or the early braking that Mark has to do, it's going to struggle. He's going to struggle so much for that pace, struggle to get by anybody. Anyway, it's P8 right now, hovering that line of within 10 seconds of Andrew. Andrew hoping. Oh, big mistake for KNYT Kid. I wonder if that was just a little bit of a walk-up. Yeah, he's going to be teetering on that line for that P7. He needs to stay within 10 seconds of Andrew to get his position on the 5-lap old mediums. You would think that he has the pace to do it, but he's just struggling left and right. So Andrew might be able to push, might be able to find a little bit of pace, maybe keep him from having his position. But the best that Andrew can get right now is a P7, and that's best case scenario. You can see he's struggling for grip. You can see he's struggling for pace. And you can see KNYT Kid is not. He's slowly breaking in. He's gonna struggle so hard. Andrew to keep that position, keep him out of that 10-second range. Impulse on the 4-lap old softs. Gonna be losing a lot of pace now that he once did have. Oh! Big mistake for Mark as he is fully spun around. Here is Lewis. Lewis gonna be catching up so much. Mark losing that position. Oh, here's Andrew. Andrew's gonna be behind Mark now. So unfortunate for Mark. He was running in that P4 spot. Looked so good, just not able to make that correction to save his race. So unfortunate for Mark on the 10-lap old hards. But here's Impulse. Impulse on the 4-lap old softs compared to Lewis's 11-lap old mediums. You can see that dirty air for Impulse. That these tires slowly dying, not having the pace that they once had when he first put them on, when he first fit them. And now it's going to be hard for Impulse to catch. It's going to be hard for him to get his P4 back and hold on to it. He's just going to need a push. Oh, that's just not going to help him. He's going to lose that position on Mark now. And Impulse going to be a little bit in that mud. Going to need to really push Scarenzi. Putting that P1 still very nice. But who is that in front of him? That's Gordon Sniper in front of him. Interesting. Stamps though, getting quite a bit on B-Dot, so I wonder what happened to B-Dot. Did he make a mistake maybe? Or maybe these old tires are just really getting to him. He just isn't able to show that pace. Mark is going to lead this little train. Andrew able to get past Impulse, but Andrew with that time penalty right now losing out to Can like TK, gonna be having that P8. Gordon Sniper also in that same boat. He's gonna just be losing out to stay out, not able to push as much as he may want to. Lewis into the grass with a big mistake for Lewis. He was running such a high position, Lewis. I thought he might have gotten a P5 or better, and he just wasn't able to hold on to it. These mediums losing so much pace. But we have started the final lap, or at least Scarenzi has. Scarenzi shown so much dominance here today. He set such a fast pole time. He has led literally every lap of this race. He has not once been in a different position than P2, and he has almost lapped everyone up onto Golden Sniper. So quite a bit of people that he has lapped, showed so much pace. I mean, he has separated himself 15 seconds from B-Dot. So he is definitely deserved of your Imola race win, which does go to Scarenzi. B-Dot, so unfortunate. He wanted to hold that win. He wanted to hold the championship trophy, and he just wasn't able to. He lost so much time in that bag. You can see Stamso from the back of the grid getting that P3, winning that P2, just wasn't able to cut it though. I think he's my driver of the day. Mark Lax on the 2-stopper, showing so much strategy, showing so much pace. He was not having it, and he had a big spin not too long ago, but he was able to recover so much. And Mark, 44 seconds to Stamso, so you can see that even people who are fast just not able to keep up with the top dogs. Here's Mark Lax though, coming across the final corner for the final time. Mark Lax is your P4 race holder. Getting my ticket in P5, starting such a good position, losing out because of the game crash, and ending up in P5. So great drive for him. Golden Sniper with the 12-lap old hards, the 10-second penalty, getting home a P7 today because Lewis has a 10-second penalty too. So Golden Sniper is going to be P6. Lewis is going to be P8, and Impulse will actually find himself in P6. Impulse had pit. If he had not pit, I think he would have had a P4. Andrew trying to do something. It was not his race, unfortunately. Spinning at the line. Gonna be your P8 holder though, or P9. Oh yeah, P8. I got it right. This has been your Imola Grand Prix. We will check over everything one last time, just to triple check everything. But here is your podium. Scarenzi in that P1 spot. B-Dot finds himself in P2, and the Jew finds himself in P3. Yeah, you can even see Stamso getting driver of the day and at fastest laps. A great drive. Strategy with the win. Most overtakes goes to Lewis. I don't know why I don't have Impulse as a friend, but Impulse with the cleanest driver awards. Great jobs. Grenzy, you're a race winner. B-Dot in P2, Stamso in P3, Marklax P4, KNYT Kid P5, Impulse P6, Golden Sniper P7, Andrew P8, Lewis in P9, Seiya P10, Blue Mercury in P11, and Red Panda in P12. This has been your race. Here is the race director really quick. And the pit stops. Alright, I have been Toasty, I've been Bread. I thank you all for watching. I'll be here for T1 comms because I have to race in Tier 2.